Welcome all. In this video, we'll get some useful information regarding the footprinting and reconnaissance techniques. So here are some of the resources. So the first is organization and the organization's website. So the very basic thing what you can do is you can go to a particular organization and find out those sensitive data and create mechanisms to protect it. So these can help us in easily creating policies or creating preventive measures that could avoid the organization to fall into the cyber attacks. Next is the search engine and the internet. So there are various search engines like Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Edge, Google Chrome, Google, and with many other. So after entering any particular prompt onto the search engine, we might get different results in different search engines. That's a very beneficial thing while performing the reconnaissance and footprinting. Next are the specific websites. There are various websites such as Whois, Grabify, IP Logger, Major IP Address. These websites ultimately contribute towards the purpose of gathering information. These websites are extremely useful when performing penetration testing. Last but not the least are the Kali Linux tools, which are Nmap, Whois Lookup, Metasploit, NSLookup, open source intelligence, GRAM, Wireshark, Maltigo. These are very essential tools that help us to gather information about a particular domain or the particular organization. I hope these resources were clear enough to clarify the various things regarding the footprinting and reconnaissance. Welcome all. From this video, we'll be studying the module 2, which is information gathering and reconnaissance. So in this section, we'll be studying about the footprinting and reconnaissance technique. So what exactly is the footprinting? Let's understand that first. So footprinting is basically the process of gathering information of a particular target. So what exactly we do here is we identify the vulnerabilities and the weaknesses present in it. So it involves collecting data from various sources such as publicly available information, network services, domain names, and even social media profiles. So this phase is critical in reconnaissance process as it helps the attackers or security professionals understand the target's infrastructure, technologies, and personnel. So techniques used here are include DNS queries, OS lookups, and the examination of website to gather information about server configuration and potential entry points. By effectively conducting footprinting, one can create a comprehensive profile of the target, which aids in planning subsequent phases of an attack or a security assessment. So even if it's not clear now, I'll explain this again in a very simple terms. So basically, footprinting is like spying on someone before making a move. So basically, you collect information about them, like where they work, what they do, and their habits without interacting with them daily. So I hope this much explanation would be clear to clarify the concept of footprinting. Next is the reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is the phase of cybersecurity attack lifestyle where the attacker actively seeks to gather information of the target or network, typically after completing the footprinting. This phase can be divided into two categories: passive reconnaissance and active reconnaissance. Passive reconnaissance involves gathering information without directly interacting with the target, such as monitoring network traffic or analyzing public data. In contrast, active reconnaissance include intrusive techniques such as port scanning or network mapping to identify live hosts, open ports, and running services. The primary goal of reconnaissance is to gather detailed insights that will aid in planning an attack or security audit. Effective reconnaissance can significantly enhance an attacker's understanding of the target, which will allow him to more precisely target the vulnerabilities. So I'll explain this again in a very simple terms. So reconnaissance is the overall process wherein we gather information about someone or something. It's like getting to know everything about a house before trying to break in. So you can do it by quietly watching, which is a passive, or by knocking the door to check who's inside, like the active techniques. So what exactly here we do is we make the use of two techniques: passive reconnaissance and active reconnaissance. Passive involves gathering information without actively interacting with it. Means we don't need to interact with that particular target. We just keep an eye on it. And the next is the active reconnaissance. Active reconnaissance involves making some actions in order to gather the information. So after reconnaissance, what does it impact onto our tasks? That is, we can identify the live hosts, open ports, and running services. These three are the major components when we need to perform ethical hacking or conduct pen testing tasks. So why is the footprinting important? So first is the very important thing, we understand the target. So we can gather some of the very essential information about the target or the organization. So it includes the network structure, system, technologies, and the person. This understanding is vital for both attackers who look for vulnerabilities and defenders seeking to strengthen the security. Once we understand what system the attacker uses, network structure of it, technologies, and some other information, we can either make use of those to break into that system, or even if we are a defender, we can make use of those details to secure our system. Next is the identifying vulnerabilities. By analyzing publicly available information, footprinting can reveal potential weaknesses in the target's infrastructure, such as outdated software versions, misconfigured services, or exposed sensitive data. So, by use of footprinting, we can identify the vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities are the weaknesses. We can find out which version is the victim or the target using. So, if we find out that the target system makes use of outdated versions, we can easily break into that system by finding the vulnerabilities present in it. Third is the planning attacks. For malicious actors, information collected during the footprinting aids in planning more effective attacks by identifying the most vulnerable entry points. For cybersecurity professionals, it helps in devising the strategies to mitigate risk. What basically here it benefits us is we can plan attacks as after performing footprinting, we get a very detailed information of the system or the target system. We can also get information about the vulnerabilities present in it. All this data can ultimately benefit us in performing attacks that are very easy to perform after getting the necessary information. Next is the resource allocation. Organizations can use footprinting results to allocate resources effectively. So focusing on the critical vulnerabilities and ensuring their defenses are appropriately tailored to their risk profile. So after finding out the vulnerabilities present into a system, we can allocate the resources or perform some actions to secure the particular vulnerability and secure our infrastructure from the attackers. Next, we'll understand the importance of reconnaissance. First is the detail mapping. Reconnaissance allows for a more granular view of the target's environment. It includes a live host, open ports, running services. The detail mapping is essential for understanding potential attack vectors. So it gives us a granular view of the target. What does it mean? It means that we get a detailed information of the target, which has live hosts, open ports, and the running services. Also, we might get some other information present in it. So the detail mapping is essential for us to understand the potential attack vectors. So once we gather all the necessary information, as I mentioned, that is live host, ports, running services, we can easily understand what kind of attacks can be performed on it. Next is the risk assessment. By actively scanning for vulnerabilities, security professionals can assess the risk levels associated with different systems and prioritize remediation efforts based on their findings. So we conduct risk assessment frequently into our organization to find out the risk present. So once we find out the risk, we can assign the security level to it. That is the priority level. The priority aims us to clarify that which risk needs to be given priority and should be focused first. So reconnaissance can be used for the similar purpose. Next is the preemptive defense. Organizations can proactively enhance their security posture by conducting their own reconnaissance to identify weaknesses before attackers do. This approach helps in implementing defenses measure more effectively. Once we understand what attacks can be performed into our system, we can take preventive measures so that they can be avoided or prevented. Fourth is the compliance and reporting. So reconnaissance can help organization meet compliance requirements by identifying areas that needs improvement. So reconnaissance assessment can also aid in reporting to stakeholders about the organization's security posture. So here are two important things to understand. We can ensure that the organization is compliant with the compliance that is being designed. Also, we can look for creating improvements into our system. Next is we can also report to the stakeholders about the security posture that is present to our organization. So I hope these concepts were very clear and easy to understand. In the next video, we'll be performing the footprinting and reconnaissance task practically. Let's meet in the